And cut.
Hello, Editing Nicole here. I just wanted to let you all know some changes we made due to some technical difficulties. Episode 3 will now be Episode 2, and Episode 2 will now be Episode 3. I hope you're sticking with me because I think we have some good stuff in store for y'all. Now on to the show.
Hold me, just like you did in Naboo York City. In a galaxy not so far away, this is Naboo York City, hosted by DarthJuliet and Nicole Marisela.
Yay! Hello! This is episode 3 of Naboo York City. In this episode, we're going to be covering episode 5, 6, and 7. And I don't know what to say now. We're in a different location.
Oh yeah, new settings.
Oh my god, I just forgot to say that.
New settings. This is Juliet's humble abode.
Yes, so we're in my living room.
And you put some really nice decorations out here.
My favorite things. I tried to be in theme, but I realized I don't have that many Bad Batch items.
Oh yeah.
So I do have a bunch of Omegas because I love her so much.
I feel like that's not a you issue though, because one thing about Julia is that she will get anything and everything that capitalism throws in her face.
This is true.
And I don't know if it's just me, but I haven't noticed many Bad Batch merch. Exactly, I haven't noticed much Bad Batch merch anywhere, like online or whatever. And I'm not speaking exclusively to like small shops, but like Disney and stuff.
I was gonna say because yesterday I bought a whole bunch of Bad Batch stuff,
And I saw that. And I saw
a small shop that I love so much.
Exactly, and I saw that. But yeah, no, I
wild.
mean apart from that, like Disney and like big sister companies, you feel me? Like I feel like we just don't see a lot of that.
They came out with a new Omega with her new outfit, with like season 2 outfit.
Okay.
But I feel like that wasn't like marketed really well because I had just recently saw it.
That means you have to join their marketing team. Hire your girl.
I will market everything for you guys. I will buy every single one, and it will be in the forefront of.
You're already keeping their lights on.
Look at all of them.
Exactly. You're
Well, actually, well, the candle was a gift from Zoe.
exactly.
Thank you, Zoe.
Shouts out to our dear friend Zoe.
The photos, were actually
Oh yeah.
from like cons.
Exactly.
And
Let's get into
What
that
else
real
do I
quick
have?
before we dive into the Bad Batch. Let's talk about, since we have a new setting, let's talk about the photo here. So this is a photo of our favorite boys, our favorite clones. So tell us about the story of how you got this.
this was our first Comic-Con together,
Oh,
2021.
right. 2021.
It was very exciting. It was. You weren't supposed to come with me that day, actually.
I
You were supposed to
wasn't.
come with me on Saturday, but this was the Friday of New York Comic-Con.
Exactly, yeah.
And I was like, do you want to meet D. Bradley Baker? And you
I
were
was
like,
like, yeah, okay. And I was like,
oh my god, yes.
yeah. At first I thought you were joking. I was like, okay, wait, what? And yeah.
You didn't believe me. You were like,
No, I
we did
didn't.
actually meet him? Like,
Exactly,
I couldn't
yeah.
meet you. And I was like,
I
yeah.
was like, I get to
why not?
stand next to you? Because, like, you know, I knew the ticket only, I thought the ticket only applied to you, which it does, because it has your name on it. But
There are certain instances where the autograph area is like closed off and like
See,
with
then-
curtains and stuff.
okay, so I was onto something.
So,
but
yeah. It's
But I
usually
got
for
lucky.
like big name people.
Okay.
But not that D isn't.
Not that
big.
D isn't,
He's
but-
amazing. He literally voices all of
Yeah,
these guys.
tell
So-
us through your
so many
perspective.
people.
Tell us through your perspective.
I'm getting better at this, but
This is 3 years ago, okay? So remember that while she's setting the scene for you.
I still very much get starstruck. But it was severe, I think, back in 2021. So I was telling Nicole, you should come with me to see D because I have a ticket to see him,
Yeah.
or get an autograph rather.
Yeah.
So, it gets close to the time. We're making our way over to the autograph section. We see him. We start lining up. I pick a picture, which is this one because
It's
he had
lovely
like
photo.
a different variety of pictures
Yeah.
to choose from. I picked the Bad Batch. We walk over and he's talking to us, and I go. Audio listeners, I was just stunned.
The woman was too stunned to speak.
I was so nervous.
I don't even remember what he said. I mean, he was nice. He said, hello, how are you? Nice to see you guys. What are we signing today or something like that? And I was giving Julia the floor to speak.
I was so nervous. I get so starstruck.
I know.
It's because you
understandable.
don't see these people normally, and they're just in front of you, just like having a conversation with you.
It's weird to conceptualize.
And yeah, you only know their voice basically
That
for
was the other
so
thing.
long.
Yeah, that was the other thing with in specific with D. Bradley Baker. Like I only knew him from the Clone Wars and Bad Batch, and just before that, as Appa and Momo from Avatar.
You don't realize that they voiced so many of like your favorite characters until you like look them up and stuff. And
He was only a voice. He was only like a floating voice until we got to meet him that day. And I remember I said a really stupid joke. I think I was like, he was
something about hydration.
Yeah, I was like, he asked us how we were, and Julia couldn't really form the words to say anything.
Oh my god.
So I was like, we're good. How are you, sir? Are you okay? Have you eaten today? Have you had water? And he was like, he thought about it. He's like, no, I actually haven't. I should get a new bottle because I just finished mine. And I was like, man, you gotta hydrate. Don't dehydrate. Not my joke. Okay. So if anyone's judging that, don't judge me. You can judge me for you can judge me for recycling it, but it's not mine. I didn't make this one up. But he did he gave me a little pity chuckle, and he was like, ah, that's a good one. I was like, I made Bradley Baker laugh. But yeah.
He ended up doing all the voices. He started talking to us in all of the Bad Batch voices, and he pulled out Rex, and I was freaking out. I was not only starstruck, but I was just even more starstruck that he just did the voices. He
He was really kind enough to have a conversation with us because, it's an autograph signing. It's not a whole, meet and greet, little chit chat, right? So, he was giving the air that we could talk to him, right? Mm-hmm. So I was asking him questions about voiceover acting and how'd you start and this and this and this.
Oh, that's right, yes.
And then I think I asked him what's your favorite clone to voice? And
yes, and then he said Wrecker.
Yeah,
and then he did the voice.
Exactly. He gave us the treat though, and he did all 5. It was amazing, including Rex. I was like, wow, I didn't think I would
the little Rex pin today. Look at it. I have 2 pins. This one and Omega. Look at it. This one's a Rex.
Where's this button from?
I always plug this. It's from a fan of. I love them so much.
That was a genuine question, okay? This wasn't by the way, product placement. No.
Thank you, Tiff. Thank you always if you're watching. But no, I also bought a lot of stuff from her yesterday. Yeah. So nice. And then I have Omega. This one is from Only Hope Supply, I believe.
Nice. I was wearing that in episode 1. If anyone's an eagle eye, and caught that, it was episode 1. But yeah, long story short, D. Bradley Baker is a really kind, sweet guy. And that's why we have to have this framed up here because it's a little signature here. And there's a really great story attached to it. So
I was excited. Yeah. We'll slide into episode 5. How did you like this episode of Dune? I was watching this episode and I was like, is this Dune? It's crazy that they brought this out during the hype of around Dune.
Exactly. Isn't
that
that's not a coincidence, okay?
They know what they were doing.
This is not a coincidence at all. But yeah, I remember seeing it and watching this episode and I was like, wow, this is just Dune in snow. I love it. It's double feature because we had seen Dune I think a week prior, no? A couple of days or change prior.
Which episode? Which one?
Episode 5. Episode 5 came out, I think, a week or something after we saw.
Yes.
Part 2.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, it's like a little double feature.
It's adding to the hype of Dune.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because Star Wars draws so much inspiration from Dune, but it's connecting now.
Yeah.
It's we're making the actual connections.
Yeah. I thought that was really funny.
So we start out with them on Pabu, right?
Yeah, and it was so cute because Omega gets reunited with her Lola, her real one now. Yeah. We see her cuddling and sleeping with it. It's very cute. And then the sun and she walks out to I'm assuming that's breakfast, right? That they're having on Pabu. So yeah, it's nice to see them all together.
She's a new outfit, a new hairdo. She's so cute. I love her so much. But she's very kind of protective over Crosshair because
because he's outside. He's not with the group. He's shooting up a little bit, and he's practicing, not shooting up.
We're cutting this out.
He was practicing, his aim. He was, and I don't remember what exactly he said, but he was training. He was training outside because he still has a pretty bad hand. So yeah, there's still an air of trepidation and just estrangement, even though they're all on this beautiful planet together now.
I know, and then they mention tech, and everyone makes a face, even Crosshair. Like, you see the pain. Even though it's so subtle, but you know that he's heartbroken as well.
Because it's so solid. It's
I mean, I think that's, to get candid for a second, I feel like that's the thing about grief when you're grieving a lost one. That's just, you have, like, saying it out loud is the only way I think that makes it feel real.
Yeah.
exactly. So I think when either any one of them makes a mention, it's like, oh wow, that's right. That's
Yeah, you're like,
It's definitive.
yeah, exactly. Yes, that's exactly what I was
hard.
saying.
It's hard.
But we also got AZ returning,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
so cute.
So
He was
sweet.
out there keeping Crosshair company, which I thought was really adorable.
He said that he can like check his hand, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
try to
yeah.
make
Check
sure
his
he's okay.
vitals or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, something like that. But I thought that was really sweet that they brought him back and still concerned and busybody as ever. Oh, but I will say though, since Crosshair is still so kind of not fully there, ready yet to be all buddy with all the brothers, I found it really pointed that Wrecker was the one who said, "Well, Omega trusts him, so that's good enough for me." Verbatim, he says that.
He's such a sweetheart.
Oh my god.
Not that they're not all sweethearts,
No, yeah,
but he has a soft side.
Yeah, which
For-
it's really
for everyone.
sweet. Yeah, it's really sweet, and I think it's not that he places his trust in just anybody, but like the fact that he places his trust in his brothers and his sister Omega, I feel like that says a lot about his character. That he's not gonna just switch up in an instant. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, that's so sweet. Like, even if he doesn't trust Crosshair in specific, the fact that Omega trusts him is
Right.
enough for him.
At the end of the day, they're all loyal to each other, and you could just see the regret on Crosshair's face. He was like, "Why did I choose the Empire over my brothers?"
Yeah, and he says it at some point. I don't know if it's this episode or the next. He says at some point, like, I no longer have allegiance to the Empire. That's
Oh, I think it's in 6.
yeah. So he's showing that he's coming back, and even if he's not coming back fully to what they were when this whole show started, he's clearly not on the wrong side of history anymore.
Yeah, he's just trying to make amends.
Exactly.
And I also thought it was really cute. Again, since we're talking about Wrecker, a couple, like a scene or two later, Wrecker gives Crosshair back his
his old
armor.
armor.
And I wrote down another quote that he says, it never felt right to throw it out.
Oh, Wrecker,
Are you kidding? So I feel like,
the biggest sweetheart ever.
yeah, and it's the little things that like Crosshair, while his time in the Empire, really thought that these guys like forgot about him or kind of just wiped them from their memory, like their memory. And it's like, no, like these little things like that show you that they're still holding out hope, and they were just waiting for him to come back, to come home. And he looked good.
So we're with the Bad Batch, and they need to figure out how to. What were they doing? Oh,
They had gone to the outpost, whatever
yes, they
outpost
had
that
gone
was.
to the outpost because they needed to unlock their data pad. So they go to this outpost, and it's Pseudo Hoth. But you realize it is a callback to season 2, episode 12, I believe, called The Outpost.
Yes, exactly.
So, yeah, it's a kind of a sad callback because you see like the helmets of the old troopers.
A lot of
in
sad
Mayday.
memories, for Crosshair. Not only has he come back to be with his estranged brothers, and they're immediately like, actually, we're gonna take you back to this place
Where it's
you,
really traumatizing.
yeah, where you found your humanity arc. Let's just go back there for a little bit. How about that? And obviously he doesn't put up a fight about it, but like there's lots of internal moments where he's like, wow, I obviously remember this place, and the part where he's looking at the helmets and all, it spoke volumes without him having to say anything or even having to show any of those the scenes from this second season. We have a guest. We have a special guest.
We'll see if he
Yeah,
does anything.
if he wants to come up on the couch, that'll be his choice.
Rufio.
I wish you guys could see his face. Oh. Wow, he heard me. He heard my plea. Camera's that way, buddy. God. We need to train these
This is
set
my
cats.
sweet baby angel.
Yeah.
This is Rufio.
Terribly not trained though, so
Anything you have to say? Anything else?
wow, I take back everything I just said. He He wanted to prove me wrong. I said, "You are not a trained set cat." He said, "Actually, I can speak on command.
Nicole
Check this
loves
shit
to
out."
say that my cats are jobless.
It's true.
They
It's true. however, their charm gets them far.
I love them.
Look at the baby. This is the rest of the show, actually. This is the rest of the episode. Because look, I think you can see the master camera. Look at him. He's cuddling my little Grogu. I've completely forgotten what we're talking about. This is what, oh wow, it's what celebrities feel like when they're doing the puppy or cat interviews. So. Totally forgot everything. Everything's out the window now. Watch him like leave in 3 seconds. But
no, he'll probably fall asleep there.
Anyway.
So yeah, we're at the outpost. It's also. This is where the Dune references come in.
Exactly. we got the big old snow worm
instead of the sandworm.
Exactly. And I love that the snow worm was the one that was breaking up the fight between Crosshair and Hunter. Yeah. Gosh, that was pretty intense too. I think Hunter was the aggressor first. He pushed him. He like shoved him. I was like,
he's very much still upset.
Yeah.
He's not taking everything lightly.
Exactly. But still, I was like, damn, excuse you, bro. Like, I like obviously nobody's
they're showing the humanity and the flaws of Hunter, because Hunter, is the leader of the group and this and this and this and whatever. But I think this scene in specific, before the worm showed up, was a good showcase of how ignorant Hunter is to some certain things. And Crosshair said it to his face, talking about blaming Omega's capture on Hunter because he completely ignored Crosshair's message. I think in the last season, when he was saying, "Hey, you should probably do something about this," Hunter just did not believe it, didn't kind of disregarded it. So Crosshair took that. Crosshair was like, and I took that personally. So this is all your fault, actually. But yeah, we get interrupted by this big snow worm, and I thought it was really sweet that when the worm shows up, I'm pretty sure Hunter pushed Crosshair out of the way, right? Kind of saved him a little bit. So
you start seeing Crosshair's humanity again when he's petting Batcher.
Oh my gosh, I did not expect that at all.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
He doesn't seem like the person to have like a pet or anything. He's like the dad who's like, I don't want the pet, but then months later he's like, the pet's here.
Exactly.
It's like, this is my pet.
I think that, I pointed that out to my fiance when we were watching it. I was like, he's such a typical like Latino dad who's like, I'm not taking care of that thing if you guys are gonna get one.
And then
6 months later, when he's there, just showing him all the love and just spoiling him, which I think is sweet. Batcher deserves it. Batcher absolutely.
Can I also say another thing? Because of Omega's accent, I thought her name was Badger, not Batcher. And then I realized it was Batcher, and I was like,
she's a bad Batcher.
I understand. I understand that now. Like, oh, this is very on brand, but for some reason
5 episodes later.
No, well, when did Badger show?
Oh wait, no, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay.
She appeared she appeared in the first episode. No,
I'd have to check my notes.
I'm pretty sure it was the first episode, first or second episode.
The Kiwi accents are really tough to decipher sometimes. Okay. But then it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, oh, this is very on brand.
Now
this
it makes all sense.
Yeah, I was like,
this makes sense now.
Yeah. Anyway.
I want to say really quickly that we see Crosshair in his original armor, but everyone else's armor is all different.
I know.
They're all evolved, and he's kind of just back where he started.
Yeah, I find that interesting.
He's gonna evolve soon.
Right. I feel like that's a call to like his emotional journey with himself and with the batch, kind of like starting from the ground up again, trying to regain everybody's trust and kind of also him letting them in again. So yeah, it really felt like
come back to himself first and then grow.
Exactly.
Growth.
Exactly. You said it exactly. You said it exactly right. Yeah. It's just starting from square one again. And I really like that they showed the contrast between everyone else's armor versus his own, or picking him back up where he left off.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like kind of just trying to not disregard all the time that they've been apart, but kind of just put it behind them.
At the end of the episode, he says he thought he was just being a good soldier, and good soldier follows orders. And it's so heartbreaking.
Like, damn. It's a really conflicting thing, because at one point it's like you were aware of your actions. You knew what you were doing when you signed up to be a part of the Empire. But at the same time, he had a completely different idea of what the Empire was going to be like and how the Empire is going to treat the clones. So even though you knew what you were going into, you didn't know what the outcome was going to be. So is it 100% on him? Does he take 100% of the accountability? How much do we as an audience kind of empathize and understand him? You know what I mean? It's all part of the human condition.
So what was your favorite part of this episode?
Ooh. Because I'm messy. I really love it. I really loved it when Crosshair and Hunter, before everything like escalated, I like the little moment where they're fighting with each other, and I think somebody says to like break it up. I think it was Rex who like told him to break it up, and Crosshair was like, he started it. Verbatim said he started it. I was like, you are a grown man.
They're so silly.
Yeah, and they just revert back to being little children when they're fighting with each other. Just a brotherly thing to do, you know?
Omega is older than them.
It's true. I know, but yeah, it's you forget that sometimes with the dynamic, the height difference too is
The height difference.
yeah. But that was my favorite part, when they're just being brothers. How about you?
I like that it's Star Wars, but we see the callbacks to Dune, and when we were watching it, I was like, this is also Jurassic Park, like the scene with Laura Dern, trying to like get everything started, rebooted and everything.
Oh,
this is also Jurassic Park.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So I didn't think about that, but
little moments like that.
Yeah, I think it's like all like an homage and a callback to like the genre that is sci-fi and fantasy, etc., etc. I know the subgenres. Nobody come at me, but yeah, I think it's just a callback to the genre that all these properties belong to, which is always appreciated.
It's true. I like this episode. It was a good episode.
Yeah.
But we're gonna take a quick break before we slide into episode 6, and this is we're gonna show a clip of our sponsors.
AKA Rufio. See you soon. Be back soon. So somebody came back this episode. I just can't remember her name.
I don't know.
Some girl.
Some girl who slays though.
Some girl slays.
Every single time.
We're back. We're back from our break.
Yeah. You look great.
You look a lot more fiery today. Or in this segment, I should say.
I look what?
More fiery.
More fiery.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but something about... It's just, your face is just splitting me up.
I got bangs at the correct
Bangs,
time
it's true.
this year.
It's true. I think that's one of the sexiest parts of Hunter, the fact that his bangs kind of sit over his
little
headband.
headband?
Yeah. Like people were like, it's giving Rocky Balboa, and I was like, honestly,
yeah,
I agree.
So episode 6, infiltration.
Episode 6. I ran laps for this episode.
You texted me and you were freaking out.
I
thought it was going to be Wolf because we got
Oh, that's right.
the poster. So I was like, oh, what? Who else could it be? Like, I
Right.
don't know. I mean, I know that we're getting Wolf, but like, who else? You were you were screeching.
Yeah. I was running laps. I had to physically pause the episode just to be like, let's go. Like,
Recreation.
I felt. I was like, no, literally, I was like, oh. Yeah, it was nuts. But then I remember I was like, give me your live reaction to it, and you're like, wait, I see blue hands. My hands are not blue for our visual consumers, but I
knew that it was her.
Yeah. The second you saw the blue hands, you're like, Nicole, it's her.
Oh,
no, it's her.
for our audio listeners, I guess.
Oh, right.
We are. We're talking about Senator Tucci.
Yeah, we've committed.
You can't see this, but my face is painted like Hunter's, and Nicole is Senator Tucci.
In my pink
You
way.
are slaying.
Thank you. I feel like this is the best it's gonna get. Call me a pirate by how patchy my makeup looks right now. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. And shout out to Julia for working on the hair because again, yeah, full circle, because I wore this for Star Wars Celebration last year, 2023, when she showed up in the second season of The Bad Batch. And yeah, you were really gracious enough to do my hair.
We were
back then.
I feel like we were in some sort of cafeteria area.
Yes, we were. Yeah,
we were sitting down at
on the upper level of the convention center. You were just doing my hair at a really small, crowded round table.
I feel like Zoe has a clip
somewhere in
It's
one of her
just
vlogs.
Anakin doing Senator Tucci's hair.
Honestly, isn't that cute? I feel
know.
like I would headcanon that. That's I headcanon that for sure.
So not only did we get Tucci, we got Hauser back.
Oh my god, one of the sexiest clones out there. That I headcanon him as our fellow Latino,
Yes.
specifically a Dominican with that haircut, for real. But yeah, it was so
He's a New
good to
Yorker.
for real. For real.
He's not just Latino, he's also in New York.
Sorry, my bangs. How do you live with bangs? I don't.
They're getting kind of long right now, so I need a little
Right.
trim.
They're getting into my eyeballs, and I have no patience for this shit at all.
Yeah. Yours goes straight down. Mine kind of like swoop in a little bit.
True, because you use rollers now.
Yeah, I do use a roller.
I wonder if Chuchi uses.
She probably does.
I wonder if Chuchi uses rollers
You know
for
what
this.
her hair routine is, what her makeup routine is.
Literally, I need to know it all. I need to know how she does all of this shit because it's crazy.
Yes, so Hosier. I wrote Hosier
Who's here?
in my notes.
As we just claimed him as our Latino king, that's crazy.
I mean, tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day. So
It is St. That's right. At the time that we're recording this, tomorrow will be St. Patrick's Day.
Hosier, Senator Chuchi.
We also got Senator Singh back. So we open up the episode with Senator Chuchi and Senator Singh having a little meeting, trying to, figure out how to fight against what Emperor Palpatine is doing because they suspect what he's doing.
Yeah.
So that gets quickly disrupted.
By a Black Widow.
Yeah, by the Winter Soldier, or
Yes.
or whatever Marvel property you want to call him.
I did write Winter Soldier.
Exactly. So interestingly enough, it turns out that trooper was not after Senator Chuchi, but specifically Senator Singh and Omega.
Yes.
So it's like, what do they want specific with Senator Singh? Is what gets me because he used to be a separatist. No,
That's right.
right.
I didn't think about that.
Exactly.
There was a tweet that I saw that was like, when Tech died and he fell, it kind of mirrors the Winter Soldier with Bucky Barnes when he falls and then they like make him into the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
So it was like, I don't have any fears, and then I thought about Tech being the Black Ops sort of Winter Soldier.
Everyone
sort
is
of
running with
person, and I
that
was
theory,
like,
aren't they? Right
I have
now?
one fear now.
What's?
I have no fears. I have one fear.
No, I find it interesting though that people are running with that theory that could be Tech.
I know. I don't want to believe it, but
I don't. Do you think? I don't.
there was another tweet. I'm sorry.
No,
There was
go for
another
it.
tweet that said like there was some sort of similarity with the voice. Almost like it was, you just had to like listen.
Oh,
a
there was like
little bit.
yeah. One of the lines that that trooper said, it was like the intonation, same intonation as Tech, because he made there was one of his lines that was similar to what Tech said when the last thing that he said.
Yeah.
When he said, "Since when have we ever followed orders?" So
Yes.
I understand people are grabbing their ammunition and trying to gather their evidence, but I don't know. I feel like it's a little far fetched in my opinion.
We're gonna come back at the end of the season and we're gonna be like, oh, so we were dead
wrong.
Yeah. Nicole, this is wrong.
I was dead wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll take that L.
No, same.
I will happily take that L
Same.
because then it just the plot thickens if it really is Tech, and then they have to kind of like rewire his brain or whatever. You know what I mean? So
It's scary.
I don't know.
want that to happen to Tech.
I know.
It's a sweet boy.
I know. But yeah, Senator Chuchi shows up for a little bit. I ran some laps, got some exercise in, and yeah, she was only there for that was her only scene in the beginning, those first 2 minutes. I was happy about that though, because I'm excited to see how else she's gonna come into play with the clones, and now that some of the clones are kind of rising up and going against the Empire.
The Clone Rebellion.
Exactly. I know she's all for clone
Yeah.
rights. So that was that's one of the main things that she was fighting for in season 2, right? So yeah, I'm excited for her to come back, and hopefully this whole getup is not in vain. I commit for 2 minutes of an appearance, but still, I hope this means that we're gonna see more of her, because I love her.
We will, rather.
Yeah, I love her so much, and she is just so like. I see her to the height of Senator Amidala. You know what I mean? Like these are just two of the most powerful and level-headed women I think are to be in the Star Wars franchise. So I don't know. Like I just get really attached and emotional whenever I see Chuchi on screen.
We have our senators that we love.
Exactly. That's my senator, and I love her very much.
Yes, I knew when I saw her. I was like, who was Nicole freaking out over? I need to know.
And then when you found out, you text me and you're like, oh, I know whose blue hands those are. And then you were like, bring back the Chuchi cosplay.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah. but maybe.
here we are.
And here we are. I was like, I'll do, and because you were like, maybe I'll do the hunter makeup, and I was like, I'll do it if you do it. And here we are. So this is Julia's idea, technically. This is all from her mind, her brain. But yeah, hopefully we see her again. But I was really excited to see her.
I'm glad that she's back.
And I'm glad that she's involved still.
Yes.
In trying to take down the Empire. What were some things that stood out to you for episode 6?
Omega's in her toothpick era.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, I love her so much. She, like, in the first episode of season 1, you see her doing all of the things that Hunter's doing. Like, he's sitting like this. Oh, oops. He's sitting like this, and so she sits like this. He's like, oh yeah, and she's like,
oh wow.
Right?
I don't remember that. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
and so she has her little toothpick now from
Crosshair.
She's so sitting the way he's sitting.
Yeah, it was so sweet that Hunter also like noticed when he like looked back and like it was such a cute moment. Yeah, literally such a cute moment.
I keep referencing tweets, and it's like,
do it, go for it.
I forgot what it was, but they were like, did she ask Crosshair for a toothpick?
That, oh my god, imagine yo bro, let me hold the toothpick real quick. And he's
do
like,
you have an extra one of those?
yeah, he's like, why?
And then she just
yeah,
same mannerisms as him.
that's so aw. I didn't think about that. Yeah, those are some cute moments to think about, like that we don't see, like how do we get here? Very cute, very sweet.
I think the next thing that happens is they reunite with Rex, or Echo drops him off.
Yes,
Like
Echo
the
drops them
mom.
off, and before, yeah, it's
So
like a
mom.
soccer mom carpooling, for their next mission, which I thought was adorable. And then
He's like, I'll be right back.
and then literally before he leaves, he's like, "Oh, by the way, here's an energy crossbow for you,
Just in case you need anything.
Yeah,
just you know.
gotta make sure you got you got that thing on you." So here you go. And then we're like, "Gee, thanks, mom." Like so.
And then they're like, bye.
But it's
then
yeah, I love that weapon though. Like I feel like that's
it's great.
It's a perfect weapon for Omega. She's such an artist with that thing. So to see her level up a little bit now with a weapon of her with a weapon of her caliber. Oh, so good. So excited.
And then they meet with Rex and the other clones.
Yeah, like we get Gregor back. I love how Gregor just rolls up. It's like, hey guys, dig in. I have some food for you. Like whatever recipe it was that I think he said something about a recipe. He's like, hey, yeah, come on in, have some food. That was really cute.
That was weird because I feel like Rex was around the Jedi a lot, or at least with Anakin, to maybe remember what an M count is, or I don't even know.
I don't know. I feel like
Maybe just like heard it in passing.
Sure, because I feel like maybe those days, like leading up to Order 66, those days were definitely kind of hazy for him. So
Probably.
I don't know. Who knows if it really like stuck with him. But with all these happy little reunions and getting like little side quest treasures, what sucks is that while they're trying to get some answers, we have that Winter Soldier intruder come in, and Batcher notices, like can like sense a presence, and she's just like bugging out, and Omega thinks that she doesn't want to eat or whatever, and then like it sucks when an animal is so in tune with something that you don't pick up on it,
Right.
So like that, I felt bad because Batcher was trying to communicate, and she just couldn't.
She was like, is something there? I don't know.
Exactly. She's like, I don't know, but maybe I should just keep eating.
Yeah. He was so stealthy.
Very stealthy, and I imagine, his maybe his mission, because he was aiming at Omega for like 2 hot seconds, and then didn't fire, comes back out and like sends the coordinates to back to base or whatever, and
just a lot of fighting and going back and forth, kind of.
Exactly.
It's a lot of action.
Yeah,
in this episode.
yeah.
A lot of explosives.
Oh my god, the explosives! Can we just like that was nuts for me.
We lose so many clones. It's so heartbreaking. Like we lost so many already,
I know.
and how many can we keep losing?
I know. How many more? But Yeah, so that their ship starts blowing up, and what's more is that the captured assassin that they have that they're just trying to interrogate also gets shut up. That
Oh
was
my
so
God.
that was so intense. I was like, oh, this isn't a kid show anymore, huh? Like it was.
never was.
It never. It was getting. It got serious because and I think what was the last thing that he said? He said something like, "The Empire isn't coming for just me; it's coming for us all."
It is kind of like Black Widowish because
Yeah.
he was getting ready to like I think he had like a thing in his tooth.
Oh my God.
Release some sort of
That's right. Oh
poison
yeah,
or whatever?
yeah. They extracted that some sort of liquid from his teeth. It was an electro capsule. It was giving Duke Leto Atreides in Dune 1 when he has the cyanide
Oh,
tooth.
that's right. Yeah.
Oh my God, all these
Dune references.
all these Dune references. Like I get it's so obvious now that I've seen both. It just but I'll never read the books though. So yeah,
There's like 30 books.
30 Dune books.
There's like 6 main ones, and then I think it's Frank Herbert. His son wrote like 30 more, like 20 more.
He nepo babied himself into a book series.
Yes.
To the longest franchise. That's crazy.
And that's why there's like 25 books. I'm not even joking. I
I
literally thought it was like just 3.
thought it was like 3, 4, 5, maybe max.
And then I think I found out there was actually like 6. And then there's like a whole other collection.
And then his son inherited the whole thing and just like
Didn't stop writing.
yeah, that's insanity. Nah, hell nah. I would never read through that, but I've watched all Star Wars movies and shows. That's where I put my commitment.
Yeah.
That's where I invest my energy into. But yeah, we find out at the end of the episode that Wolf, even though we were so happy to see him,
Yeah.
was on the inside this whole time.
Yeah.
On the inside of everything, and was instructing all the clones to bring Omega alive, contrary to what Hemlock did for a little bit, asking or demanding that she comes in dead or alive. So it's so bittersweet that we get to see Wolf come back.
I know. Yeah.
And then now it's just like, right, you're working still for the Empire against the Batch, which, you know, the Batch is already a high target. So now that they have Omega, it's like 20 times worse to like try to like negotiate and work with someone like that who's so embedded to the Empire. I don't know. It's rough.
It was a good episode. And then it leads directly into 7.
Yes, exactly. Who stole the show for you?
Great question. Hold on, I gotta think about this.
I feel like I know your
I know
answer.
who you're gonna say. It's your dresses.
As I snatch my wig off. I'll go with mine to see if you can think of someone. But I have 2 answers. I have an A and a B.
Oh,
You know what I
maybe.
Yes, I have an A and a B. First, of course, Senator Tucci, looking amazing as always. And I'll tell you this, ever since I saw this woman on screen, ever since I've seen this woman on screen in the Clone Wars, I cannot help but think she has a striking resemblance to Ariana Grande. You need to pull up a picture, look at her in her face, and do not lie to me and say that this is not the intergalactic Ariana Grande of the Star Wars universe. It's something in like her facial structure, in her hair. I don't know,
Are we
like
doing like this picture maybe?
okay, this picture of Ariana Grande, just slap on a pink wig and blue skin. You got Senator Tucci right there.
Have you ever seen the I can see it. There's what's that song called? It's the one with Zed.
Zed and Ariana Grande, or
Well, he produced a song. It's like
Break Free?
Yes, Break Free.
Ah,
It's like a
yo.
very galactic music video.
Oh, you're
You know what I'm
right.
talking
You're
about?
right.
Yeah.
I remember the music video
We're gonna
now.
put the-
Yeah.
the
If we don't get copyrighted, but yes,
like a
no,
picture.
I agree. Yeah, no, exactly. Like she's like something about Ariana Grande's aesthetic and Senator Tucci, the way her fashion. I feel like there's something about the two of them that look so strikingly similar. And get this, when episodes 6 and 7 were released, that was literally like the week after she released her new album. So I was like running laps on top of like theorizing and just
Coincidence? I think.
there was no way that was a coincidence whatsoever. Okay, so You know?
I'm trying to like find a picture from Freight Free.
I don't know if we'll get one.
It's kind of like galactic.
Yeah.
It, like when you
It's Buttercup.
watch the music video, you'll understand.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm like 99% sure because I have her as a skin on Fortnite.
Oh, that's right. I didn't know. I thought they only did characters. I didn't know they did real life
Real
people.
Yeah.
No
I
idea.
have all the Star Wars ones. But I'm pretty sure there was like a whole music video concert thing 2021, I think.
Wow, when nobody could go out to go see the actual
Still, yes.
quarantining.
It was a whole day, not a whole day thing. It was like a little hour or whatever.
That's
of, like, an
so
event.
funny.
The
That's
gameplay
crazy.
was that you could play her as a character.
That's too funny.
Like,
I had no
different
idea.
Outfits, all that stuff. I'm pretty sure she had,
Different
like,
outfits.
yeah, I'm pretty sure she had like pink hair.
Do you see? Do you see the vision? Fortnite saw the vision before any of y'all did. I understand. It adds up. So yeah.
I don't know if it's pink, but I think it's like maybe like a lavender.
Sure.
And my second character who stole the show from me was,
I was gonna say Gregor, but I think I flubbed on when he actually showed up or not. But I was still happy to see him regardless of where exactly we saw him cooking up some food, because we know where he ends up obviously when we see him in Rebels, but it was nice to see him in the middle of it all before we get to see him be a happy old man. So yeah, it was those two, Gregor and Senator Chuchi, who I hope we see again.
I think I'll go in kind of the same direction with like Rex and Hauser.
Oh,
I
yes.
always love like little callbacks and like people who return, characters who return. It's just good to see them.
Yeah, the animosity between Hauser and Crosshair killed
Oh
me
my God, that
though.
was-
Oh my god,
It was heated.
understandably so, because when they found out, when they found, you know, the data puck, and the electro whatever thing, electro fluid, whatever that that this trooper had, they found out that that the intruder was only looking for Omega and Senator Singh, but not Crosshair. And you know, Hauser was trying to like somehow put two and two together because, you know, both Omega and Crosshair were held in captivity. So it was kind of like, okay, so if they're after Omega and not you, you're obviously on the inside. What do you know that you're not telling us? And I think that's also something that I'm worried about coming, like, as the episodes come. Like, what is, like, I know, like, we know that Crosshair is not saying everything that he knows.
I think he's scared.
Scared of what, though? Of who? The Empire?
Maybe himself. I don't know. Maybe facing the truth, perhaps.
Sure, yeah, that would make a lot of sense. So, yeah, the animosity there was, the tension was like palpable almost. Like it was so like, damn, you do not trust this man at all. Understandably so. But
He has to build relationships or fix relationships with everyone,
exactly.
not just his brothers. I mean, yes,
And
his
yeah.
immediate brothers,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
his other brothers.
Exactly. You know, he's figuring out that he has a lot of work cut out for him.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't share what he knows, then, you know, because on the opposite side, Omega knows everything or is sharing everything, and she's sharing what she knows. So the fact that Crosshair is just kind of mum about it, it's like, man, people are going to be on to you. People are going to be on your case. And if you have precious information that could help the Clone Rebellion and the clones in general, don't hold on to that.
Right.
I'm still a Crosshair apologist though. I love that.
Me too.
Man.
I got a little keychain that said Crosshair. What would it say?
Enthusiast, apologist.
Oh no, Crosshair Protection Association. I
Ooh.
was like, this is really cute.
What is that? What is that?
Crosshair Protection.
Oh, my stupid ass. Yeah. I heard production. I was like,
Oh no, protection. Crosshair Protection Association. We're
yeah.
a coalition of
Yeah.
crosshair apologists.
Yes. We actually turned in our paperwork last week. We are now part of
Yes.
this coalition.
Yeah, I think those are the thoughts for 6. So episode 7.
Episode 7.
Continuation of episode 6.
Exactly.
It goes immediately from episode 6.
Yeah. It feels good to be back in where we started in this episode.
Yes.
No longer face painted.
It's just like a long episode and we're back to normal.
Yay. But yeah, you're right. It does pick up immediately from
Yes.
episode 6. Episode 6 we finished off with an explosion of wherever the batch and crew were hiding out, and this little assassin survived. Comes out of the rubble, and I was
Oh
like,
my
how
God.
did you, how? It reminds me of those, I forget the name of the specific group of ninjas from Daredevil who, like, can't die. What are they
Oh,
called?
I do not remember the name, but I know exactly what you're talking about. I didn't think
Yeah.
about that. That's so funny.
I just came to me.
That's
my
so
mind.
scary.
My mind, yo, my mind. It just came
mind.
to me, but that's how I think of them. These specific set of troopers. I'm like, how? Like, are you guys immortal?
They're widows.
Right.
They're black widows.
It's so weird.
Basically.
But yeah.
For some reason, I didn't realize that Wolf was on the Empire side.
Well, yeah, because he hadn't. I feel like there's a few of them who haven't. Their chips are still activated. I
Right.
should say. So yeah, when I saw Wolf, I was like, man.
Like, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, I was like, we gotta get you out, brother.
I knew that we
this
were-
isn't you.
Earlier in the day, I think. Was it earlier in the day, or was it Tuesday that we got like slides, or like not slides? We got pictures of
Oh, those posters.
yes, we got posters of each
yeah.
of the characters, and Wolf was one of them. So we knew going into 6 and 7 that
That we were going to see him
gonna
again.
see him, yes.
Exactly. Yeah, we were going to see him again, but we didn't realize just like on what side he was
yeah.
going to be on. So yeah, it came as a big shock when I saw him, and it was so much conflicted feelings.
Yes.
For sure.
There was a moment when Omega was saying, when Batcher was licking Hauser.
Oh
and
yeah.
she was like, "It's okay. She only bites half the time." You have like these serious moments, and then you just have these like cute little quips really fast. That
I feel like
from
I
Omega
feel like
or-
the writers know that we need those moments
Yes.
because if we don't get those, we're not surviving. What's to come next?
So she was like, "Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry." Like Rufio.
Yeah, I was gonna say a real typical cat owner. It's like it's okay. He's only violent half the time.
Sometimes.
So just make sure that you're prepared if he attacks.
I also wrote that Crosshair is in his Papa era.
Yes, I really who Hunter. Now that they're not arguing anymore,
Yes.
Hunter points it out to Crosshair. He's like, "Wow, I see that you're growing a little soft spot for Omega." I don't remember what Crosshair said in that moment, but I thought it was really sweet that, despite what happened 2 episodes ago in episode 5, that Hunter is able to actually see the progress that Crosshair is attempting to do himself. So
There was a moment where I forgot what was happening, but Omega was like, "Oh, you're just as bad as Hunter," and he's like, "Oh, I'm worse.
oh my god,
I'm much worse."
actually,
In that moment, I was like, "Oh,
in that moment,
oh, wait, hold on, I gotta do it too." Oh, I'm sorry.
You know what it reminded me of? It was this was a lot more attractive, but it reminded me of that scene in Euphoria where who was it? When Nate and Cassie were arguing with each other, and Cassie was like, "I'm crazier."
That's so funny. Yes.
Yeah. But you know, in that scene, I know the intention wasn't to come off attractive, so I kind of scoffed at that scene because I was like, "Cassie, get it together, girl." But yeah, I feel like when you're able to execute it properly, Crosshair is who
Yes.
you get.
It's just he's so sassy when he says it too.
I know.
He's
I was like,
like-
"Sir."
He is in his Papa era.
He was like, "What do you say verbatim?" He was like, "Oh, I'm much
"Oh,
worse."
I'm much worse."
I said, "Prove it." Prove it. You won't, pussy. Prove it. I wonder if he's into. Actually, let me not. Let me not get into that. Sorry.
What?
What did he say?
Redacted.
Yeah, I wonder if he would redact me.
Nicole, this is a family show. The family.
The family in question.
The family. The little babies. Rufio got up.
Excuse me. Yeah, he said, "What did he say? What did she say?" But yeah, I thought that was, regardless of how that made me feel on the inside, I thought
It was for the girls.
it was for the girls, and they
But
knew it, yeah.
but you just see how much he cares about Omega.
Yeah. In that context,
Yes.
yeah. The outside effects don't matter as much.
This is where we become unhinged.
I know.
on our
It
show.
was bound to happen. It was episode 3, so I mean, we're getting there.
And then we get a reunion between Rex and Wolf.
How also conflicting
yes.
was that?
The thing is, because I didn't realize that he was. Oh,
see, even he felt something about it.
yeah, he has to leave. He was like, "This was too. It was
Too
it was
intense.
hurting." Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was. I didn't realize that he was still part of the Empire. So it's it's weird seeing your brother like that.
I know, and even in his own way, Rex is literally like, "Wolf, brother, this isn't you." Like, think about what you're really reinforcing here.
He said something like that, I think.
Yeah, he mentioned that Wolf mentioned that I thought you died.
Right,
And it
Rex
was a
is like,
callback to
"Yeah, no,
season
wait."
7, the ending of season 7, which is
Clone
also
Wars.
just so heartbreaking to even think about. No, we don't talk about it.
We don't talk about
But yeah, so even Wolf thought he died.
Yeah, I mean, that also, it just shows the lack of information that you'll have on your fellow brothers after Order 66.
Right, there was so much uncertainty.
Exactly. So yeah, it makes sense that he thought that. There was how would he have possibly known? But yeah, Rex was kind of like, as you can see, I am not dead.
But eventually Wolf is like, stand down, basically.
I find that really
Yeah.
interesting because the entire episode was the mission of we need to get Omega alive because in the past couple of episodes, Hemlock was like, "Oh, I don't care. I want her dead or alive now, or whatever." But so yeah, and there were I think there were a few moments in episode 7 where Wolf was kind of like teetering, kind of trying to wonder if he was leading in the correct way and whatever. So yeah, I really thought he was gonna just pull the plug on the whole thing and just take Omega as is. It just felt like he didn't really. I don't know. He didn't really
Want to hear Rex out.
Right.
So
But then he lets him go. He's like, what did he say? Oh, they're clones. We owe them that. They're still clones. We owe them that.
exactly. So, and he said something early in episode 7 too. He said something about like they're clones, not Imperials. I don't remember. He said something. Yeah.
I don't remember.
But yeah, all those little moments I think led up to the end, the final scene where he says to stand down and not take Omega back into captivity. But I feel like they're still keeping track of them, no?
Probably. Yeah.
I think he said something like that. He's like, we're still going to keep an eye on them, but for now, let's just let him go. So I wonder how that's going to affect him later, and how that choice is going to affect them.
It kind of feels like Cody.
Yeah.
He was having these like conflicting feelings.
Exactly.
And I think Wolf is it's obviously gonna have them because we see
Exactly.
him later on in Rebels. So a couple more points before we finish off. We keep losing a lot of clones, and it's so heartbreaking.
I feel like that's just a natural way of it all. However, they don't deserve it. They don't deserve it.
We need Chuchi to. Oh, excuse me. We need Chuchi to.
I mean, she needs
Get
to
the
fight
ball
him.
rolling.
Yeah, she needs to, I find it really interesting that we have a little bit of Chuchi showing up in this season because I have my theories. I have my theories that she's going to run the clone rebellion. And I understand that lots of lives have to be lost before that happens, but it doesn't hurt any less every time that it happens. So.
And then the last thing I wanted to say was that we see the Winter Soldier falling and surviving.
I feel like we see the same story just in different fonts.
Yeah.
All throughout different types of medias. And it's like, how much more? Like, I'm gonna eat it up every time. Don't get me wrong.
Me too.
I eat it up every time. But how long? How long till I can't emotionally? I don't have the emotional bandwidth anymore to take it.
So what was your favorite moment from this last episode?
Like replaying the episode in my head. I think it was I don't know. I feel like there was a lot of action this episode.
Oh yeah, very.
Season 7 was very much action packed.
Yeah. Episode 7.
Huh?
You said season 7.
Oh, episode 6 and 7 was very action packed. I don't know. It felt like a mini movie.
So true. I feel like
they're like back to back.
Yeah, exactly. Double feature. Yeah, I feel like there was lots of good action, lots of back and forths going on with the Batch and their brothers on the other side with the Empire. And there's a moment between between Rex and Wolf where Rex is trying to tell him about the clone experiments and Wolf just simply does not believe him.
I think it's just because it's kind of like the conditioning. Like
Right.
you're conditioned to see some things and not see other things.
Yeah, Wolf was very much like, they would never do that to my brothers.
It sounds
Boy.
like Crosshair at the beginning of Crosshair. It
Oh,
sounds like
yeah,
Crosshair
exactly.
At the beginning of like season 2. Or
Yeah.
like, yeah, season 2.
The lasting effects of the Empire on the clones, it takes so long to wear off, and it's really, it's tough to see those who have already opened their eyes trying to convince others who haven't yet. It's like they're gonna get to it on their own, brother.
Eventually.
Like, yeah. So I don't know.
I don't know. I think just like the small, cute, funny lines. Because
Yeah.
it's just a heavy episode.
Yeah.
Not too heavy, but it's just a lot of things are happening. I think like
Yeah.
the fun parts, just like Omega making like silly jokes.
Yeah.
Crosshair being like, "Oh, I'm much worse."
I really like that they can find the humor in some of these situations, you know, and with with the quips from Crosshair, I feel like we're gonna be okay. The kids are gonna be all right.
Yeah.
type shit.
What was yours?
My favorite part of the episode, I want to say, I want to say the sweet little endearing moment between Hunter and Crosshair, where Hunter's kind of like, I see you've taken her under your wing a little bit.
Okay, so that was episodes 5, 6, and 7. We're gonna be back doing
8 and 9.
8 and 9, I think. Yes.
They get released on individual dates, but we're gonna
Yeah.
put them in one because we just love yapping about these clones so much. So we want to make sure we can get everything in as possible. So we still don't have an outro.
I don't know. We need to figure something out.
Let's just get Rufio back. And,
Where'd he go?
And I don't know.
He went somewhere.
He crossed somewhere. But thank you all for listening to this episode of Naboo York City. May the force be with your spirit.
It is Lent.
It is Lent season, so
Lent.
so may the force be with you
And with your spirit.
and with your spirit.
So we'll be back in a little bit. Not a little bit. In a couple episodes. We'll be back in a couple episodes. We'll be back to yap.
Back to Gavin.
Keep punching me.
We have to figure out.
That's the sign. That's the sign
Okay.
to cut.
Bye.
May the force be with y'all
Maybe.
and with your spirit.